Hello and welcome to another Billy J video. This is the Boss Nationals, August 26th and 27th in East Moline, Illinois. This was an indoor show, beautiful location, right off the Mississippi River. This is the 1969 Boss 302 GT 350, the only one produced. This was a very rare car. They were going to make 200 of these cars for 1970, which were going to be Boss 302 Shelbys. But this was the only one produced. Carroll Shelby resigned about 9 days after the car was built. These are some kind of rare photos of the car. You know, they're at the Pagoda at the Indianapolis 500. Rare opportunities to take photographs. This was the Shelby Indy turbine. There were two of those. And then this is the Boss 302 Shelby in front of Edsel Ford's estate. Very rare opportunity to have the car posed in front of the mansion of Edsel Ford. He was the son, the only son of Henry Ford. Edsel Ford II is the son of Henry Ford II. The building was air conditioned. It was nice, so this show could be rain or shine. Fantastic place to do the show. There was approximately 80 to 90 bosses. I think there was another Shelby there. A lot of Boss 351s, Boss 429s, Boss 302s. There were a couple 2013 Boss 302s. There was this drag car. Awesome 1969. I asked him what he ran, if he was in the 12s, and he goes, no, 1053. So that car was extremely fast. There's a 13 Grabber Blue. Of course, a black Jade. This is a very rare 1969 XL, Galaxy XL GT that had a 429 Cobra Jet. It's been approximately 9 years since the Boss Shelby has been out to another show. 2014 was the Ford Motor Company show for their employees, where they pulled out, they had 15 prototype cars, the Shelby included. We were the centerpiece. We had serial number 2, serial number 3, and of course this car. So it was representing the first program with Shelby and Ford, and the last, which was this car. This was the last programmed car that Shelby and Ford, before Shelby's resignation away from Ford Motor Company. Another 2013 Boss 302. We'll go up here, we'll open the hood, take a peek at the engine compartment. Underneath the hood, we've got Parnelli Jones and George Fulmer's autograph. I hosted a show debuting this car in 2007. There, Parnelli Jones and George Fulmer, I picked up at the airport and brought to the show. They stayed a couple nights, went back on a Sunday. It was fantastic to have them come to the show. They signed a lot of autographs, and it was awesome. So that'll probably never happen again. Here is the two endorsements of Carroll Shelby and Edsel Ford, stating this was the only Shelby produced with a Boss 302 engine. So Edsel B. Ford II and Carroll Shelby. Here are some photographs of what you know, the convention center, the expo hall looked like with the the bosses. Quite the variety of Boss 302s, Boss 351s, Boss 429s. This is Larry Shinoda's personal car. This was his Mach 1. It was a 428 Cobra Jet with air, but he used it as his model of how he wanted the 69 Boss 302 to look. So it was his own personal car. So this is a very rare car. It's been fully restored back exactly the way it was when Larry had it. Awesome to see the two cars together. Very rare opportunity to have both these cars sitting side by side. Here you see some of the Boss 302s. Boss 302 Cougar Eliminator. I think there were two there. Both of them happen to be grabber blue. 69 Boss 429. The cars were just beautiful cars. I mean, Boss 429s are so impressive with this massive engine that's inside. It's just unbelievable that they could fit that engine in a Mustang. I mean, they moved the shock towers out 2 inches on each side in order to fit the Boss 429 into the Mustang's chassis. These cars were just very nicely restored back to their original condition. Little minor damage on that one. The yellow car in the foreground we're going to get to here in a second. That is the only 1971 Boss 302. All 71s were Boss 351s, but they did make one yellow Boss 302. Very well documented. It was sort of found by accident. The VIN label was laminated over the top of the original. They peeled it off and seen that it was a Boss 302. That was a Mercury Caliente. That's pretty rare. But this is the Boss 302 71. Incredibly rare. It's the only one they built. Ford had plans to build more, but I think due to poor sales, they just maintained the Boss 51s. Did not build any more Boss 302s. Boss 351s had a very strong motor. They could basically outrun a Cobra Jet. Boss 351s were quite the engine. 4-volt main. And awesome. They had an Autolite carburetor on them. This is a very rare color, the lime gold green. Everybody's car, I mean, it was just fantastic, the detail that everybody had on their cars. Polished wax, detailed just beautifully. This is a perfect replica of the Parnelli Jones 1970 Trans Am car. Streetable version, just got all the decals and everything on it, so it looks just like the original Trans Am car. I think this was the only 1969 completed car. The other one's a race car. No sport slats, no rear deck spoiler. Front spoiler was standard, but the slats and the rear spoiler were optional. Engine compartment looks very original. Got the smog, chrome valve covers, not aluminum valve covers. That was for 70. That's back to the 10-second 69 drag car. Then we've got a Trans Am car. This is a 69. Looks like it's been restored. It's got the big flared fenders. Pretty awesome. This would have been a Trans Am car. There's a few photographs of it of when it raced. The 69, when it started up, this white one, it vibrated to ground. I mean, it was just a ferocious engine. Quite a collection of Boss 302s, 429s, just Bosses in general. Black Jade Boss 429, and then here's this rare 69 Galaxy XL GT with a 429 Cobra Jet. Incredibly rare. And once again, the 1969 Boss 302 GT350 prototype. The only one that they made. Endorsed by Carroll Shelby and Edsel B. Ford II as the only Shelby produced with a Boss 302 engine and drivetrain.